Hello, it is, oh geez, I already forgot the date. It is Monday, July 10th, day 10, the end of day 10. We are hiding underneath a gas station from the wind and impending weather. We have also later all our batteries in the corner huddled up underneath the park. So, last 6 days have been eventful, right, Joe? When we last left off, we camped down in Coeur d'Alene, and the next day, it's probably the worst day. No, it's a tie between two things. So on that day, we were in Coeur d'Alene, East Coeur d'Alene, and we woke up to try to get to Kellogg and probably get to Montana that day. And we were going to jump right on the highway, right out of the campsite, about 11 in the morning because we had to charge all night in the morning. And it was I-90 through Idaho and some big pass that everybody knows the name of, but I don't remember. And I was killing it early on, and Joe was too. We were going like 25 plus on the highway. Had nice wide shoulder for a long time, and it was like the only way through. And then the sign comes up and says it's single lane only coming up, which is terrifying as you're going uphill and about to go downhill. And it's just me like tight as heck, and I'm like, Joe's behind me, I trust him, he's gonna make it out. I was wrong. On the way down the hill, I don't know, I just read my phone, I saw a text message, and like, please don't be from Joe. Looked at it was from Joe. It said, come back. And I'm like, how in the hell am I going to come back on this busy highway? And I pulled over. I didn't show you where I pulled over. Never saw it. It was a guardrail. And I chilled behind it. I think I tried calling you once. You didn't answer. Then I'm like, I'm not going up the way I came down, so I'm going to have to cross the median of this, which I did, and it wasn't too bad. And I ran back. Thankfully, I was only 2 miles away from Joe. He got a flat tire. The entire tire, I don't even know what's the wordage? Unseated. And thankfully I came back, the little hero I am, and we pumped it up with my automatic pump, just thinking like we could reseat it and it'd just be fine. It was not. And we limped to about a mile to an exit, and we were only 10 miles in, I think, at that point, 10 miles.
Yeah.
And we were going to hit a bike shop up that day that was 30 miles in Kellogg. And I came up with the decision. I'm like, I'm going to go to this bike shop and see if there's something that I can get or something that they can recommend. And I'm going to come back. Like, you keep the pump and you pump it up, go a little bit, pump it up again, go a little bit, pump it up, go. I get to the bike shop, 20 miles, and Joe texts me that it's flat again, and this time it is unfixable. And long story short, I went back and forth a bunch of times, and Joe, I accidentally took some of Joe's bags on purpose that had his food and water. He yelled at me and said, "Do you have my food and water?" And I'm like, oh crap, I gotta come back and get that. And I dropped it off, and he was just relaxing with his shirt on, getting a lot of sun in the middle of the bike trail. That the nearest road access was about 1.5 miles away, and he couldn't wheel the bike with all his equipment on there. So I called a tow, and we found our little hero. What was his name? Outlaw Mike. I got a phone call. I called them, and they asked all these weird questions, like color, like blah blah blah. I'm like, he's on the bike trail. Your ad says you can pick up any machinery on the side of any road whatsoever. This shouldn't be that out of the ordinary. And they're like, we think we got a guy, and this is Outlaw Mike, and he called me shortly after, and I told him about it, and he was like bragging. He's like, oh yeah, I know how to get on that bike trail. I'm like, prayers answered. So my last video was me waiting for Outlaw Mike. Didn't know his name was Outlaw Mike at that time. Would have made me a little more confident if you said that over the phone. He said he was a volunteer firefighter and he has a big tank in his back of his truck. He's like, is the bike wider than 2 feet? And I'm like, I don't think so. He's like, okay, it'll fit. I'm like, okay, cool. And he gets there and he's like, I don't know if I go on this trail. And I'm like, hey man, my dude's 1.5 miles down. He ain't coming here. You told me that you could do it. Are we gonna do it? And the little BA that he is, he did it. And Joe got in the back. We got his thing, and Joe rode with them, and I rode off to meet him at a hotel that that used to be Outlaw Mike's stomping grounds. So we stayed in a interesting location. We had Mexican that night. Joe had a big margarita. And the next day went better. I'm trying to remember that. Yeah, we went to the bike shop saved by Kiwi Karen. Karen's some lady from Australia that worked at the bike shop that gave him some tannis liners in his wheels, and we were off. And we took the crappiest route out of Idaho into Montana. A terrible, like, crawling 5 miles per hour over just these rocks that I thought it was the Hiawatha Trail, or however you pronounce it. Hiawatha. Bless you. And it was not. I saw somebody on Facebook posted the Hiawatha Trail. That's not what we saw. It never passed anybody. Nobody ever passed us, because I don't think that the trail's made for people or bikes or four-wheelers. And we were in Montana that day, and we ended the day in St. Regis, and we slept outside at a park after asking a sheriff where to go. And that was a little sketchy, shivered in the morning, whatever. We woke up early in the morning, left, and made our way to Missoula, where we charged in a hotel parking lot, attached to a lamppost. That was a long, sunny, hot wait around, doing work at the same time, which sucked. And once we left there, I'm trying to remember where we went. Where did we go from after Missoula? Down to, I think we tried, was it Butte?
We went St. Regis.
St. Regis to Missoula. I'm trying to remember the map.
Yeah, Butte.
Yeah, we went to Deer Lodge. Deer Lodge, which is in between Butte and Missoula, I think. And we chilled in the back of a Chinese Thai restaurant, charged in, and we went inside and ate. I liked the food. I don't know about Joe. And charged there for like 6 hours. And then we left, and we made it like 60 miles, 50 miles into Butte. And there was I'll go into detail another time. Let's just say the bike had a little incident that kind of screwed it up a little bit, but she's a champ. She's still trekking. Had to get a U-Haul and slept at a motel that night, got a U-Haul, and took the bike to Bozeman to the next bike shop. And they couldn't do much. They straightened out my, pedal crank? Pedal crank? That's the word. Don't expect any good verbiage out of me. But my pedal arm is still a little bent. I don't notice it too much anymore because I'm so used to it, my left one. And we got that fixed up. Boom, we're off. We've been killing it the last 2 days in terms of mileage until, right now we're charging, so it doesn't count yet until it starts raining. And we made it all the way to Big Timber last night, Big Timber, Montana, where we, laundromat, gold, best place to charge in the world, laundromat, get inside, it's warm. Oh, I forgot, we spent a night in Drummond.
Oh, how did you forget Drummond?
Yeah, Drummond was maybe the scariest night. I slept like a baby though. It was coldest, it was like this random gas station, a lot like this, but like a whole bunch of people just would like show up and like shine their lights on us, and sheriff came, we talked to Sheriff Rico, it was pretty cool. And Madeline, she was cool, she was new. They talked to us for a while, gave us a little lay of the land, checked in on us a few times. And we were there till like 11 in the morning, charging. 4 in the morning, one of the workers came, just shined a light on it. I had my knife on my stomach, and I just like fumbling, just blinded by this. It's like, oh, what's coming out of this car? I don't know where my pepper spray was, probably stuck somewhere in my air couch. And that was a weird night. I slept well, though. Joe does. I don't know the last time Joe slept. And then that was the night. I don't know. I think that was after Missoula. I think that was between Missoula. Yeah. And then, like I said, fast forward to Big Timber Laundromat. That was last night. We made our way to Billings this morning, where Lectric was awesome enough to send some more chargers that we have desperately needed to hasten our trip. So as far as the math goes, essentially charging time is decreased in half, which gives so much more time for riding, because we're averaging on these country roads like 20, oh, a little lightning over there, 20 something miles an hour when we're not in the cities. Like when we changed our batteries here, we're averaging 23 miles on the final 13 miles to where we're at right now. So we charged in some hotel parking lot in Billings before this. Got denied for the first time twice. I did have two kind of words for the lady that lied to me about why we couldn't use her. It wasn't hers, it was the hotel's lamppost thing. I assume I'm not the cleanest looking person in the world right now, but I walked in with the bike helmet and gave the whole like, hey, I'm coming from Seattle and I desperately need your help. You don't have to do anything, you just have to say yes. I promise I will leave no sign of being here, and we clearly have beautiful bikes that show that we're on our way. So two people said no, and then we had one savior that like didn't even finish, let us finish, and he's like, yeah, so that was awesome. And since then, we just killed it coming about 60 miles to here in, where are we? We're in Custer, Montana. We decided to go to, we had to make the decision whether to go to either central Wyoming to head directly east of Rapid City, or go directly southeast to Rapid City, which was the first option. Had a lot of elevation gain, but probably the safest cities in terms of knowing where plugs would be. Option number 2 was the most direct, but there was just like 100 plus miles of just barren, nothing that I can't risk. And option 3, which we took, is go up a little higher in terms of up higher on the map, less elevation, to Bismarck, where Lectric is nice enough. My man Matt and Christian, and the wind's blowing right now, so you can't hear me talk. Matt and Christian are sending a care package of I need some new back brakes because I'm a baby that rides his brakes down big hills, and a new pedal arm. So we're on our way to Bismarck, and hopefully there on Wednesday. Joe's butt hurt, so his wife bought him a bike seat and is sending it to us as well. What else did she send it? Front rack. Yeah, Joe brought a front rack from Lectric. My front rack, like the accessories that aren't Lectric are the things that aren't holding up too well. But that is where we've been. We're gonna hit 1,000 pretty early tomorrow, if not tonight, miles, and have about, after that, maybe 1,400 miles to go, 1,500 miles to go, and our pace has really picked up. Other than that, that's been the last 6 days. We're gonna try to get to Forsyth, Montana, which is another 50 miles northeast. We're gonna try to go to a laundromat, and I probably jinxed the laundromat cheat code. And hopefully in North Dakota late tomorrow. if all goes according to plan, there's some weather to watch out for. We've been fortunate enough that weather hasn't been a factor. So,